Candy. I've heard that you've had the good fortune of knowing every member of the inner Hubbard family. Is that so?
That's true, actually.
Oh, excellent. Well, I would like you to talk about each member of the family and give your thoughts and experiences. So who would you like to start with first?
I think I'll start with when I was the crew tutor on the flagship of the Royal Scotsman, and I was Candy Swanson at the time. I got roped into the Sea Org adventure, not meaning to. I had just graduated from the briefing course at St. Hill, and Mary Sue had telexed for graduates to come and help out at the advanced organization in Alicante, Spain. So my husband, Ira Chaliff, was still on course. I was the fastest through the course, whoop, like that. And off I went on the train all the way through France and down through Spain to AO Alicante, Advanced Organization. I did 2 or 3 little review sessions that they needed help with, and off we went on some dusty bus to Burriana in the dead of night, transferred on top of this cargo ship, and down in the hold, and a guy with a mace called Baron Brez is swinging this thing with the spike ball on the end of the chain. Sign the Sea Org contract or get off the boat. And the boat was moving away. The whole thing was shuddering. The big ship moved away. Where am I going to go? Jump in the ocean? Excuse me, in the dead of night? F you F-er. To you, Baron Brez, I signed the stupid thing. I said 1 billion years, you must be nuts. What's wrong with you people? Bloody hell, I ain't come here to sign any dumb contract. My husband is going to graduate in a month from the briefing course, and I'm stuck in Spain on some ship. Bloody hell. Oh, man, I was livid. I was so mad. I was 20 years old, mind you. And so I ended up being the crew tutor for Mary Sue Hubbard. Mary Sue was Ron Hubbard's wife. She was beautiful. I took so many photos on that month where we could not touch shore, and Mary Sue had this wonderful hair. She told me, Ron will never let me cut my hair, so I have to keep doing this to keep my hair up. She had all this massive curls. I had a stupid little camera, really cheap, from Hawaii originally. It was old. And I would take pictures from her about 3 feet away like this. Smile, candid camera, Candy's candid camera. That's what I was calling it, you know. And Mary Sue, if you look on my Facebook under Candy Swanson, I have a lot of photos of Mary Sue then on the ship with some of the crew. And she looks at me and gives a little grin because I'm very close to her to take these photos. I got to know Mary Sue Hubbard very well because we would party every night without any alcohol or drugs, of course. My boyfriend, Neville Chamberlain, on the ship, had a portable record player, and he had these little 45 records, vinyl records. This is old style, of course, in 1967 or something. And so I got introduced to Jimi Hendrix right then and there. And Mary Sue and some guy from the crew and me and Neville up in her salon with all the beautiful living room set, you know, couches and things. We'd party and dance, dance, dance. We had so much fun. Every night I got to know a wonderful side of Mary Sue. She was really Ron's right-hand woman. She held the Guardian's office post. I know this is not a wonderful subject, but I honor and I respect her memory so much. She had balls bigger than any man I ever saw. I think including Ron himself. She was a tiger, a tigress. Mary Sue was amazing, incredible. And if anyone ever puts her down and says, oh, poor victim Mary Sue, she did this and she did, oh, poor lady, excuse me. Mary Sue was an incredible ball buster, gang buster, amazing person. There you have it. She was no little cutesy little tiddlywinks like my friend Yvonne. She was like that, Mary Sue Hubbard, and that's who was running the show. Hello. Do we have time for the next Hubbard person in the family? Tatiana, which one would you like to hear about next? That was. Oh, I know the rest of the story. When I was crew tutor, the Hubbard children had their own wonderful tutor called Sylvia Hare. She's a little bit elderly and a wonderful lady, and she was on the ship with the children. Mary Sue refused to leave the ship. So we had this giant rag around everyone's arms but me on the liability cruise, because the liability you have to tie a gray old rag around your arm. So the smokestack had this giant rag tied around it. This little dog, Vixie, what was the name of those dogs that they had? I forget the name, but anyway, it was their dog, the family dog. The same dog that the kings and queens in Europe would have.
Really?
Yeah, the little short little doggy. Anyway, so Vixie had this rag around her neck, you know, gray rag. Everyone's on liability on this cruise. And I was the tutor for all the children, about 20-something children on this cruise. And one little boy, Leaf, I remember his name was L-I-E-F.
Common name.
Yeah, he was from somewhere Scandinavian.
Yeah.
He was red freckles on his face, and he was a feisty little kid. He was a troublemaker. He was about 7 or 8. And so I refused to let him be part of my, you know, the children, the crew, I guess they would call it cadet org later, but not in those days. So I said, I'm sorry, Leaf, you can't come here. Goodbye. We're just working here, studying. I'm teaching children. And he was such a troublemaker, but each day after that, 3 times he would come. Can I be part of this? I want to be with all the kids. So finally I let him come and be part of it, because I'm not a meanie or anything like this. I'm a softie. Meanwhile, the Hubbard children are coming. Sylvia Hare, where are the Hubbard kids? Well, they're all down in Candy's schoolroom with all the children on the ship. So Yvonne's daughters were there. Janice Grady, her name's Janice Grady now. And Terry Gamboa, not sure of her name. But Janice and Terry. And I have these photos I took of these children that are posted on my Facebook. And I've got Suzette Hubbard in the photos with them, with the red hair. Diana never came down. I think she walked and looked. I have a special story with Diana. But Arthur Hubbard came to join in with all these children. And Quentin Hubbard would kind of pass by. He was a little older too, though, so he didn't join in. But I got to know the Hubbard children this way, and Mary Sue, wonderful person. So I felt a little bit like family, you know, with the Hubbards. It was great.
That's wonderful.